Welcome back, everybody. 15 minutes of heat here for you on 560 WQAM. Big bounce back win for your Miami Heat last night, 100-97 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, all leading the way for Miami to get this one as Miami improves to 29-23. Handed Cleveland. What is that sound that keeps happening? Like, what do you have
Whenever
going on
somebody
there?
gets backstage.
What are we doing?
Leroy had to disconnect for a second.
Oh,
Are you good, sir?
what happened? So what happened yesterday was a thing of beauty with Miami walking into Cleveland. Haven't lost very much there. They're very good at home. Very good at home. And I think they were 21-5 at home so far this season.
Yep.
So Miami goes in there. They got their full deck of cards, full Heat, full Cavs. And Miami goes in there, snuffs them out in the fourth quarter, Leroy. Just completely shuts off the water. Bam Adebayo took a giant wrench. He saw the faucet leaking and said, nope, shutting it off, dude. And Miami gets the win. And now, after all that chirping, Cleveland, oh, me, you guys need to get Spider, be. One game up on Miami. Breathing down your neck, dude. Right there, Leroy. Boom! Oh, this team's too big for Bam. Be too big for him. Oh, okay. Dunks it right on Jared Allen's head. Feeding Evan Mobley buckets. Evan Mobley. He's actually really good. I'm really scared to see what he's going to be like in like year 3 when he actually puts on some weight. Because because Jimmy Butler just hip checked him, and because he's only like 200 pounds, he just went flying. Yeah, but that guy's going to be good. But right now he's not. Not good enough tonight. Not good enough last night, dude. Spider Mitchell, where were you? I know where you were. Looking up at Tyler Hero, scoring more points than you, dude. Big 4-point play from Boy Wonder. They're too big. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, dude. Real big. Couldn't even defend home court.
Big game from Caleb Martin, too.
Big game from Caleb Martin.
So
I'm just marinating on all of this.
What's the marinate? What's the marinate?
I'm just letting you go.
El Borre says, Tobin, you're not allowed to be cocky Heat fan with your flip-flopping. What if I flip-flopped? Tell me. I would love to know. El Borre. You let me know, dude. You find that. But last night,
I can't call you a flip-flopper on this.
all the people, oh, this season's been terrible. Oh, this is... All right, dude. All that crying and whining you did to the Cavaliers, you're right there. Okay? Maybe, and this is just maybe we should have just let the season play out a little bit. Huh? Maybe we should have just let it. Let's just get through the dog days of everybody being injured.
Wait a minute.
And now
wait a minute.
Scaling up the standings, dude.
Hold on.
What?
I've been saying this all year.
What?
Wait till January. Everybody gets healthy.
Well, it's February.
Right? And
Yes,
you-
January.
you're the one that's been throwing TTL around all season.
Deserved. When deserved.
Then
it needs to be
wait,
dished out.
are you patient or do you need to give Tobin tough love?
It's both, dude. You don't just get to waltz through the season willy-nilly. And by the way, here's a little concept for the NBA. You know, the Miami Heat did a little thing between the loss to Charlotte and the win over Cleveland. You want to know what that was called, Leroy?
What?
Practice. What a concept. Oh, you mean teams can benefit from a practice every now and then? So they go from being willy-nilly allowing baskets to one of the worst shooting teams in the league to to keeping Cleveland under 100? Huh. Crazy. You get better from practicing. Maybe we should try it a little bit more. You know what? Maybe Stan Van Gundy and Jeff Van Gundy were right. You know, Pat Riley wants more practice. No practice today by the way, for the Heat.
By the way, you ever notice that most of these NBA teams get more work done on the road than they do at home?
I actually do notice that.
Right.
It
seems like they get practice in, they get more walkthroughs in,
Mhm.
they get a little more everything when they're on the road because there ain't nothing else to do.
God, when Bam just shoved Jared Allen out of the way and dunked right on his head. That was good. Oh, get out of my way. Just went, whoop, dunk on your head, Jared Allen.
Basically, what the Heat did to the Cavs is big boyed them.
Big boyed him, dude.
Right? They bullied him, pushed him around.
Fun game.
Yeah.
Fun game.
I mean, it was nobody was ever far enough away to where you could change the channel.
Oh, and the Heat, for whatever reason, just got off to really bad starts every quarter. That was an odd thing because they got down 16-5 to start the game, and Jimmy Butler's like, all right, I guess it's takeover time now, which was great from him. And he just like willed them back to like a 28-28 game. And then second quarter, all Bam Adebayo dominated, took him into halftime, and then they went like 5 minutes without scoring a bucket. It was crazy. Didn't matter, though. The will was there, Leroy.
The will.
The will.
What are you, Green Lantern?
Was he? Was he there?
He was.
Nice.
What are you, Green Lantern?
Is that his thing?
Yeah. The will.
Can I hear from Eric Spoelstra? He was, talking about the competitiveness right now in this Eastern Conference and really all over the NBA.
I think it's been happening now for 3 years, 2 years since the play-in was put in. I think that's the biggest driver in this. You just have far less teams tanking. Am I allowed to say that word? Come on, this happens in this league. But now you have a bunch of teams that probably weren't necessarily thinking that they would have in either conference that they would have a chance of being in the play-in, and they're at this point. You might as well go for it. The experience you get. It's just driving the competition level league-wide, and this is the way it should be. We had a devastating loss the other night at Charlotte, and then, to keep it in perspective, we wake up the next morning and, even with only being +5, we had the 9th best record in the league. That's a head-scratcher to me. Usually you had the top teams, maybe a handful of middle teams, and the rest were tanking. That's not the case anymore. And I think it's.
There you go, Eric Spoelstra. You know what he said? You know what it sounds like, Leroy?
What does it sound like?
Little cup of perspective.
Here's the crazy thing about what he just said. Who's trading?
That is a good question. Who is trading?
If everybody feels that they have a chance.
Yep.
Who's trading their players?
It's a fair question. It is a fair question. It's a fair question, Leroy.
So we'll see.
A lot of people looking at like if I was to look right now, out of the play-in, Raptors 6 under, people seeing them as sellers, possibly the Bulls. Charlotte's a big one. People think people are going to pick the bones of Charlotte. But here's the thing is like, what are those teams going to hold out for? Because are they going to get greedy after that damn Rudy Gobert trade?
Right.
Have we determined that hasn't worked? Like, does everyone understand it was a mistake? And can we just move past that and forget it ever happened?
I mean, we can't move past it because it's there. But I think the thing that's crazy about it is they think everybody's going to be that stupid. Everybody's going to pull it in. It's like, hey, just because the Timberwolves were dumb doesn't mean the rest of us have to be.
I was going to say, no one was that dumb before, and no one will ever be that dumb again. It was a one-time, congratulations, Minnesota. You got fleeced. Let's move on.
But I think the rest of even them, they're not like, they're still only a game. What are they? They're game over right now. The West is really bunched up. You think the East is bunched up.
Yeah. They said LeBron, the Lakers were in 13th place, but only 4 games out of 4th.
Oh, yeah. The Lakers are a good week from being fine. Which, by the way, LeBron yesterday, triple-double at the Garden. Not the Boston Garden. I don't know why I did that. But he was 28 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds, beating the New York Knicks in OT. That's who the Heat have next, by the way. New York, coming up on Thursday. Rui Hachimura, was that his debut last night?
No, he's been playing there for a week, dude. That was his first start.
Oh, his first start last night. My bad. That's what it was.
Oh, look, Anthony Davis played. That's amazing.
What a concept.
That's so crazy.
He's also he started playing the same time Hachimura came over. So he's been playing for
Interesting.
about a week too.
He so yeah, they
He
get the
wasn't
win.
starting though. Anthony Davis, I don't think he started last night.
He's in the starting lineup last night.
Okay. Because he hadn't been starting. He'd been coming off the bench.
Well, nice win yesterday.
Yep.
Bam. You got to get that all-star nod tomorrow, dude. If you don't, it's a crime.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think what
Jimmy too, by the way. I
the
mean,
Heat are showing is that and while they're not able to shoot the three like they normally have shot it,
although it was nice to get it last night.
yeah, they got to kind of muck these games up, make them more physical, more trapping and forcing the issue, because you can't just let a team just start shooting the ball outside, because then you can't keep up.
Yeah.
And I think the pressure that they put on the ball, even though, who was it? Oh no, that was with the Knicks. Sorry. Even though they had some players that had good stretches, nobody ever was able to get comfortable. And I think that's how the Heat have to play, because they don't have the luxury of the 3-point ball.
Yeah.
Now, at some point, it's going to catch up to them, but they found a way to win without it. Or they got it last night, but they've been finding ways to win.
They're trying to find ways for sure.
Right.
And yesterday was one of those games, like, Bam and Jimmy were great, but you really needed, I really thought it was a total effort. I thought everybody was important. Even like Kyle had a goose egg in the first half. Goosies, not the same as goose eggs. But then
make goose eggs.
But then he had in the third quarter, he had some big plays for him, and then didn't play in the fourth.
Well, that's
okay. Gabe Vincent, Victor Oladipo. You know what? I gotta say, Vic. He didn't have this great shoot, but I felt like Vic did a lot of like the PJ Tucker stuff yesterday. He's just a dog. He's just doing everything for them.
He impacts the game to the point where he's one of the few players where, kind of like PJ Tucker, where you don't worry about how much he's scoring, even though he is a good scorer.
Right, but it's not like I need 24 points from him for him to make an impact.
Don't worry.
So
I mean, his stats were everywhere.
You'll put TTL on him. Sure,
Vic, never.
Yes, you will.
I was thinking about it yesterday.
What?
I was thinking a little TTL, but Tyler came with that big 4-point play.
Wow.
So.
Oh, you were thinking of giving him a Tyler?
I was thinking about it, but he came through in the clutch.
I don't know how shooting could go this bad for this long. It's been a whole season where they've struggled shooting the three, and
Strus didn't play very much yesterday.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is also taking that Duncan Robinson role.
Take a break.
Here's the other thing too, is that when you play in a game and you're keeping a team under 100, the scoring aspect of it is not as important as the defensive aspect of it. And you need your defensive dogs in the game.
Right.
So that means Caleb, you're talking about Vic.
Caleb was incredible yesterday.
Right. He's you're talking about Vic, you're talking about, Lowry can get in there. You're talking about Bam, Jimmy. I mean, Tyler, that's the only, guy you're going to have out there that you have questions about his defense. But other than that, they made it a point to make sure we had 3 and sometimes 4 defensive guys on the court because of the way that game was played.